Alright guys, back with you, and we got the Tisas 1911 out here, the SDS Imports Zig, I guess, M1 Tisas, the Turkish made 1911s, and they're 400 bucks. I've seen them range as cheap as in the mid 350 range around there to up to the 4. We had done a review on another Tisas, the high power copy on the channel that wasn't actually mine. It was lent to us, but even that has gotten rather expensive now and rare, from what I understand. So anyway, I've had this for a little while now. Not too long, but enough to get it out, fire it, and check it out, and give you kind of an impression on it. However, I did change out the grips to just the ones that I make, with that kind of retro kind of look to it. So I kind of like that a little bit better. Nothing wrong with the original ones it comes with. Actually, they're correct to this style of a firearm. If you kind of want to modify yours, a little tip is because the ones that they give you are really light brown kind of versus the originals were a little bit darker as we know them today. So if you want to kind of alter yours, you could go to the store and buy some RIT or fabric dye of some sort of red, or the I think they call it the wine color or something like that, and you can slightly stain yours. Just kind of do it with don't go too strong, because you can always darken them, you can't lighten them, if you know what I mean. So now we'll kind of give them a little bit more of a look like this if you want to just change yours up a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take this thing down, because kind of how my impressions, everything on this thing, and what I've been thinking about it and everything has been pretty good. I've shot enough. I've shot a couple of box or so of my hand loads, and then of course I got my hands on some hodgepodge, just random ball ammunition, just from you name, every kind of maker. So it's fed fine. I even got some hollow points and I ran through it. It works great. Now mine is in 9mm, and I know some of you purists are gonna say, ooh, I don't even want to touch that. But no, I wanted it at 9. I've kind of grown more of accustomed to a 9mm 1911. Plus, I thought with having something like this, it would be something really different to have. And so, it is a ramped barrel. They did do it right there. If we're going to go a 9mm, you're going to get a little ramped barrel. I'm going to wipe some of the oil and stuff off of it. You do run a little bit of a heavier oil on the moving parts. Even here out in the desert, it does get a little cold, so I'm not running something super heavy. And so being I ran this for a little bit, and some of the wear patterns and everything, I must say for a 1911, it's right around the $400 mark for me, at least. That's what I got it at. Big shout out to Mr. West Outpost in North Carolina. They're the ones that kind of helped me out in getting this, because believe it or not, even out here in the wonderful desert of gems of this kind of stuff, it was hard to find this thing in 9mm. I found it plenty in 45 auto, but just could not find it in 9. So they were the ones that had it in 9, and I got it. No, after firing it a bunch, no real wear on the barrel that I can see, like as far as wearing. Now it is, if I mentioned in the first video, I did mention that this is a, it's not, I don't think it's parkerizing, because I've heard a lot of people say it's not, and I've handled it myself, and I do believe it is some sort of Cerakoting. But they did do it right. The color is fantastic. You almost, I mean, the Cerakote job is done so well that, honestly, if people hadn't have said that, and I haven't like actually checked it out myself, I wouldn't think that it was. So really not too much wear. You can see on the rails, I don't know how well you can see it, but obviously the obvious areas where it's worn, right through here and all that. But I haven't gone to the range and like fired it, and my entire barrel bushing and whatnot took off downrange into pieces or anything like some people I guess have said. So but the only I guess the only real thing I've ever encountered with a 9mm 1911, which was one time I did have one of these, the ejector nose actually shear off. I don't know if maybe the ejector just wasn't done to snuff or properly done. Now mine, the only issue I had was the corner right here. It took a little, like a gouge, a slight gouge, and all I did was take some sandpaper and just kind of smooth that corner off. That's all I did. And that was just because I don't know what caused it. I checked out the slide and everything. I didn't see any kind of you know, major hits or anything, but that's all I did, because I noticed that I was cleaning it, and when I ran the towel over this area, it caught some of the fabric of the towel, so that's where I noticed it. You can see some of the wear, obvious wear here on the hammer where the slide comes back and hits it, and then of course all inside here. Now, I run a shock buff in mine, as all my 1911s I do. But overall, I gotta say, I'm just really thrilled with this 1911. I can't believe that they cost what they cost. I can see if I had an input on it, I would say these are going to go kind of rise up in price a little bit, because just I think people are going to find that the quality is really there. And if you're looking for a World War II replica like I was here, something that's authentic to the original World War II gun, this is it. I mean, and you're not going to break the bank. It's a solid piece. It's got some heft to it, I must say that. It's maybe it's because I've been mostly with my Springfield lightweight, but it does have some good heft to it. Now let's look at the because that's where the barrel, because it's a ramp barrel, it's kind of a, you know, it sits like that in a saddle. You can see how it looks. Now we're going to go ahead and compare that to my Springfield Armory here that costs twice as much as this thing, if not more. I think these are MSRP'd around $800, and you can just see how well it's kind of done. Now, of course, I have a different finish on mine, so it's a little bit worn, but this one's a Commander, but it doesn't really matter. But you can see there kind of a difference in the ramps on the barrel, everything. So not too bad. I mean, it's a bit more of a narrow barrel ramp on this one than the Springfield, I would say. But I have not had any feeding issues or anything like that. So I've been really happy with this firearm. I think it's great. The markings are not obnoxious. Really, they just it says the Zig M1 Tisas Turkey there, and then the SDS Knoxville, Tennessee there, and of course the serial number, which is like insanely long. Maybe it's because they made so many of them. And then the slide. The slide is real simple. I like it. Model 1911 A1, U.S. Army, right there. Boom, done. And there's nothing else on there. The barrel, top of the barrel, is marked with the caliber, everything. So, but I'm pretty happy. The spring is actually closed on both ends. Not that it really matters, but you know, usually what you see is you know, one end will be kind of open like that. But anyway, there you have it. I kind of just been really enjoying it. It's getting harder for me to see those type of sights, but that is correct to this style. I would say if you're going to buy this particular one, the U.S. Army style one, you're purchasing it for the replica and the look of the old original World War II kind of look. If you're going to change stuff out on it, I do believe they have another model that's just a flat black or something like that, that it may even be cheaper, and I think that would be more close to trying to, you know, if you're going to modify or do things to it. Because the other thing, if you don't mind, I guess it's just going to be aesthetics. If you do switch out parts on this, because every part is colored, you're going to have a little bit of off contrast unless you kind of match it in some way. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm BATJAC J.W. I do like this thing a lot.